Hello.
Salut!
Ahoy.
Hola!
Welcome to Sound of Mobility, a project funded by Erasmus Plus and the European Union through the French National Agency, where we will help you explore travel opportunities for young people.
With the help of ESN Spain, Rural Youth Europe, ESN France, European Dialogue and Jedang.
Keep listening to gain skills and get inspired to go abroad.
So hi, hello. Welcome to the new episode of this podcast. So for this, the title is Blues Post Mobilities or Not. So we will discuss about the goodbye effect at the end of the mobilities and how to handle the blues effect, and also to discuss about our experience. So for this session, we have three. So we are going to just introduce yourself and discuss about if we do a mobility or not. So for me, my name is Etienne, and I have realized a mobility in Germany, in Würzburg, during 4 months. It was incredible, so incredible that I'm going to do another one in Italy during six months.
Hi everybody, I'm María. I have never done an Erasmus Plus project or mobility, but I have been living in France for some months alone, and I've also experienced this situation that maybe if you have never been on an Erasmus, you have lived this too.
And hi everyone, I'm Zelie, and I did a 1 year Erasmus in Sicily in Catania, and it was an experience that was amazing, very funny. And now I'm doing a second one in Peru starting in March.
It's
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's so incredible. We have different point of view and different experience, so it will be very interesting. So for these sessions, we have a small plan. We just start to give some information about the effect of a goodbye during a mobilities, and to talk also of the difficulty to come back to the reality, to come back in our country and our studies. And we will finish by discuss about some tips to handle the blues effect.
First of all, we will introduce you to this concept. What are the mobility blues? Okay, so I'm not going to lie. Yesterday I didn't know what this was about, but we have always, all of us have lived this at least once in our life. So maybe not about mobility, but what is a blue? Okay, so when we talk about this, we mean a negative feeling that we experience when we are missing home. So I think that right now all of us are understanding what I'm explaining. But how can this affect our mental health? If you have listened to the first part of this podcast, you have already listened to one episode about this. But we all talk about the positive parts of living abroad. We can see that on TikTok or on other social media, but nobody will tell you about the negative parts. And that's really important because we can't try to think an Erasmus or a mobility is perfect because it's also really difficult. So, which can be the worst parts here? It can be when you miss home, when you miss your friends, your family. So, what do you think, guys? Like, how much can affect you when you are abroad and you feel like you are lonely, or when you feel you can't do this anymore? Like, what do you think, Etienne, about this?
For me, during my mobility, I've really been affected by the fact that I'm only in the country that I don't know at the beginning. So it was very hard to stay in winter in Germany.
I understand.
Yeah, I am alone in my apartment, so it was a little bit hard during some times. And the end also what was hard because it's was a very great experience, and you need to come back to the reality. So it's impact me not a lot, but at the beginning, after when I come in France, it's impact me. Yes.
Yeah. And what do you think, Zilly, about this?
For me, like when I arrived in my mobility, like I was kind of lucky because it was like very sunny. There was a beach, so like I was like feeling a bit like in holiday, and I directly like met some of my friends that I keep for the whole year. So I didn't feel like lonely at all because I was living in a student residence with all Erasmus. So it was like very good experience because like we are all in the same like situation. And I
Yeah.
think one of the difficult things that I experienced, like at the end of the first semester, like most of my friends went home because they were like only staying one semester in the Erasmus, and I was staying 1 year. So
Okay.
I had to say like all the goodbyes and goodbyes. Like every day there was like one of my friends that was leaving, so it was like
Yeah.
kind of like complicated. Like for 1 month, it was like horrible. But then after it was good. You like start meeting new people and again. And after like at the end of my mobility, um, I was very sad of leaving, but I was also like happy because I was like leaving like my bachelor degree and I was
Mm-hmm.
going into master. So it was like a new experience.
Yeah,
So I didn't went
exactly.
back to my normal life.
And for example, many people say that the beginning is the most difficult part. But for example, when I was working in France, I felt like the most difficult part was just in the middle when you are like so tired, or when you have many exams, or when you have to work, or you start like not going to birthdays that your family are having, or I don't know, family members, or for example, when I don't know, it's Christmas, you know? I don't know,
Yeah.
how did you feel? Like, do you think that the beginning is the most difficult part, or maybe it's another moment?
No, for me, it's another moment. You are in the oh no situations and you discovered all the day. So for sure, it's difficult because maybe you don't know the language perfectly.
Yeah.
But you discovered, you make new friends, you make a new family, the Erasmus family. So for me, it's not the most worst moment. Like you
Mm-hmm.
say, Maria, the middle is also very difficult during the Christmas. Also, if we do a mobility during the winter semester, it's most difficult, I think, because you go to the courses to university, you don't see the sun, you ended your day, you don't see the sun, and it could have a direct effect of the mental health of this period. So for me
Yeah.
and my experience, it's the most difficult part.
And Etienne, like, I won't say this in the podcast. Yesterday I asked you, and you were like, I didn't improve my German skills when I was abroad. Like,
Yes.
we could say, like, I don't know, that helped you, or do you think that was bad for your experience? Or are you happy that I was like that because you were more fluent speaking in English? Like, for example, your English skills are amazing. That's really obvious. But for example, you were in Germany and you were
Yeah.
not speaking German. Do you regret about that? Or are you happy that you were speaking English more?
Today I'm more happy to speak more in English because I use English all the day. Um, but also it will still difficult to don't really speak good in Germans.
Yeah, okay. And Zeli, like, did you speak Italian or not? Or tell me. And will
Okay.
you speak Spanish in Peru? That's important too.
Two questions. Wait. So when I came to Italy, I couldn't speak Italian at all. Like it was, I could say only like buongiorno, which is like hi, and that was it. But like I forced like myself to talk like Italian the most I could because like we had like Italian courses.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it was like 10 hours a week, so it was a lot, and I speak and I try to speak Italian the most when I could, like with ESN member of Catania, like I was speaking Italian, even if I could only say like hi, my name is Zelie in Italian, like I was trying to say it to practice. But then at the end of my mobility, because of that, I achieved a B1 level in Italian. So like now I can speak Italian quite. It's okay. And no, I don't speak Spanish at all. That's why I'm going to Peru. Is like to learn like Spanish. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like for me, like learning a language is like easier when I'm in the country than like when I'm not. Like for example, like I like to be in the situation where I don't speak it because like this I need to speak it. Like my like progression in Spanish would be like better
Yeah,
than if I was in France, you know.
exponential. Yeah.
And
Okay, guys. Tell me, Etienne, what do you want to
Yeah,
say?
just to say something because I'm going to Italy, but I'm not speak Italian.
That's
And
really brave. Like both of you are really brave.
yes, but it's a scientific internship. So I'm gone. I don't speak Italian, and I just speak English with the peoples. So
Mm-hmm.
I think during my 6 months internship, I will not speak a lot Italian.
Okay, okay, that's cool. Um, Now I will just introduce you to the second part that Zelie will talk to you about, and we will want you to think about the fear that many people feel when they have to say goodbye because they never know if they will see like the new friends they made in 3 months, in 1 year, or maybe never again. So Zelie, you can start your part.
Yes. Like we all heard about like the post Erasmus depression is like because Erasmus is like such an amazing experience. Like your life is going like so fast during 1 year or one semester, like you are doing thing every day because like you're afraid of like not doing thing, a bit with FOMO and so on. And like when you come back to like when we come back home and like everything like you change, like your perception of life and so on change, but like everything like your friend didn't like change, life is still normal. You feel like a bit like in a different place. And I wanted to know like what were you feeling about that? Like did you experience that?
Yes, a lot. And it was very hard to handle it. Yeah, I don't know if you have the same, Maria.
Yeah, like when I was living this summer in France and also this Christmas, I felt like there were many like the biggest moment of FOMO in my life. I lived that while I was abroad because it's true that you live many amazing things and experiences, but I think that many times we think just about the bad parts, maybe when we are sad or maybe when we miss home. So you are all, I was all the time thinking like, wow, I saw a story of my friends on Instagram and they are doing this. Like, wow, I wish I was there, but that's not true because in the real life I wanted to stay home. You know? Do you agree, Etienne?
Yeah, yeah, I'm agree. I'm the same feeling. And also, when you are abroad and you are lonely, you see your friend of your country who make a lot, and when you come back, you see your Erasmus friend who stay
Yeah,
and continue to have a good time in Erasmus. So it's difficult to handle the difference of the two different life.
yeah, exactly.
And I think also it's like when you return like to university, for example, after one semester, like you're in your third year of bachelor, and you come back for the last semester of bachelor, it can be like a bit hard to adapt because like you live one semester that was amazing, and now you're returning to the same bachelor and so on with university and the same routine that was like before and so on. What do you think about that?
For me, it was a little bit different because when I come back in my French university, my German course are still doing it because there is the ending is not at the same time. So I have two university courses to have, one abroad and one in France. It was very difficult. Also, when it's finished, I need to come back in the reality of the French university, who is a little bit different, and to make new friends and new connection with the friends that I lost during the times that I am in internship, at that time abroad. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
difficult also.
Yeah, and I think that many people are thinking about, wow, I don't want to go back home, or wow, I am going back home. And it's like we are not enjoying all the time the experience because we are thinking about what happened before and what will happen after the experience. So I think that maybe that concern, um, I don't know, plays a bit against us because then when the mobility or I don't know your experience abroad is finished, then you start thinking like, wow, why I was so sad. I waste 1 month, or 1 week. What do you think, Celie?
Yes, I agree. And especially like for example with your friends, like you meet like so many people during Erasmus year that after you get like very close to them because Erasmus like you get very close very easily. because everyone is so open. And after, like, when you need to leave, you're living like all your life, like you had your life for 1 year or 1 semester, and from like one day you leave everything back, and it will never be the same, you know. Even if you go back to the same place, like it will still be like the same city, the same building and so on, but the people will not be the same, like the atmosphere will not be the same. So you're living like, you know, that when you are living, and I think like you will be missing all like the memories, you know, not that place, not the city, but like the memories that you have with the people. And after, there's also like the question about like you want to meet again with these friends, but because we are living like in all over the place in Europe, like in Romania, in Italy, in France, Germany, like it can be hard to like meet again, you know. You never know when you
Mhm.
will meet these people again.
Yeah, and when I left Paris, I felt like for me, in my mind, like Paris was like that was the end, you know? Like, and then when I came back and I saw the same people, not all of them, but some of them, I was like, why are you still here? You know? Like for me, the experience ended when I left, but I never realized that the life was like continuing and that my friends were still there, many of them, you know? I think that the reality is that different that we don't think there is another possibility than the one that we are living.
And I think also one thing that can be hard is like the difference of like the rhythm of life, you know.
Hmm.
So for example, when you do an Erasmus, like it's going so fast, like we already said. But after, most of the time when you go back to your country, it's like you go back to your parents' house. So you pass like from like the independent lifestyles to like going back to your parents' house like for the holiday, you know, before like going to like your university. And I think like this different perception like can be very hard, you know, because you don't have your university friend next to you if you don't live in the same like a city and so on.
And both of you have done a mobility. So this question is really cool when I'm with the Erasmus students. So tell me, like, which is the experience like that is the most, I don't know, example of an Erasmus, like the biggest one, you know? Like something that you lived in your Erasmus that you are like, I would never do this at home.
Um, for me, is travel, but travel like you think about it and you do it. I will
No, yeah.
never, I will never do it in France. But during my mobility, we are thinking with Korean girls to make a road trip, and we
Mm-hmm.
make it in one week. You know, we
That's
just
crazy.
rent a car and do it. And I will never do it in France. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it's not the same feeling. It's not the same mood.
Mhm.
Also.
And usually,
Yes, I completely agree with Etienne. Like for me, it was also like the travel. For example, I have an example which is kind of funny. We wanted to go. We were in Catania in Sicily, and we wanted to go to Napoli. And we wanted to go on this weekend. Like we wanted to, but like we didn't knew how to get there because like plane were very expensive and so on. So like we look on the internet, and we found like a ship that was going to Napoli, and like we
Mhm.
just took the ship, but at the end it was like a industrial ship with like a helicopter like sink on the boat. There was like it was we were the only tourists to go there, and I think this
Mhm.
is like something that in France will never happen, because I don't know, we will like check for it before, but because we are Erasmus, we're like, okay, no, it's cheap, okay, we go on it. And yeah.
So now we are moving to discuss about the different tips that we could have to handle the goodbye and to discuss about also the different possibility to make another mobilities. Because one first important part is the end of your mobilities is just the beginning of something new. You know, it's not the end of your life. It's not the end of a very important time of your life. No, just the beginning of new thing.
Mhm.
So just for the beginning, maybe we can make a turn of our own experience to give a little bit some tips to handle with the blues if you
Yeah.
have someone.
In my case, yesterday, for example, I talked to a friend of mine and I said to him like, I will talk tomorrow about how to handle a goodbye, and he was like, you can't do that because I'm really bad at goodbyes. I'm super bad at that, and I always try to avoid them. But now I think that after being abroad for so many months, you have to try to, I don't know, you have to think that it's not going to be beautiful. It's not like in the films. Like you are going to cry and you are going to be dramatic, and then you will be back home and you will miss them. But that's okay because that means like you had so much fun, and that doesn't mean it's just the end because we are young and because life changes a lot and they can come to visit to you and you can do the same, you know. I always say that when you meet friends from other countries, it's like you can travel in a cheaper way because someone is going
Yes,
to host you, you know? So
yes,
yeah,
you can make a whole interrail with have different localizations with
I will do that this summer. Just saying. Yeah, highly recommended.
yeah.
And Zelie, what do you think?
For me, like how I deal with like the Erasmus post depression, like the blues. It was like when I left. Okay, so I left the first one. I was the first one to leave because I knew like how it felt to see like everyone leave after like the first semester, and I didn't want to do that again. So I prefer to do one goodbye, a big one, but after it was done, and after I went to work abroad. So like even it was the end of my Erasmus, I still like was abroad with the Erasmus mindset. So it was like I did my Erasmus and I went to work abroad. Then I did an Erasmus project, like a 1 week Erasmus project in Romania, and then I went back home. So like this, like after I was like so tired of everything that I did that I just wanted to be home and sleep for 1 week. So I didn't get that blues because I did so many things that it was okay.
So yeah, I understand it a lot. And for me, one solutions when you are go back home in your university is to continue to work in the same subject in the same courses. So you have different options. Like for me, I beginning a group project at the university with the subject of mobilities, you know, and it was incredible. I created a whole website to recover the experience of the student who make an international mobility to make a connection between the both. So it could be a solutions. And another solutions, it could involve your time in an associations who have the same causes, like for example, ESN associations, because this project is sustainable by ESN and both of three of us is ESN volunteers.
Yeah, that's very
So,
true.
I think a lot of volunteer of Essence is people who have the blues, who have the nostalgia of the mobilities and want to continue their own mobility in their country. So it could
Mm.
be a very good solutions.
Yeah, that is a really good one. And the thing with ESN, for example, for me, it's like a bit like a sport because you always, when you feel tired, when you are sad, it's like you have your home family with you, even if you are not living in your same region. You know, maybe you're in your country, but not in your region. And it's like a family, and they are always, they are going to support you because they know how you feel. And that is really nice.
Yeah, and also ESN volunteers is a very good solution to continue to travel a lot.
Hmm.
I don't know, but I travel a lot these years, and I'm going to be travel a lot for these new years with ESN. So it's will
Yeah.
be incredible.
Yeah, and also like there is like so many like opportunity to like go abroad, like to travel and so on, like that are in the Erasmus Plus projects and like Erasmus Plus program, and it's like so cool. Like you can travel and so on with Erasmus.
It's also possible to continue to travel and to make other mobilities in for an internship, but also for work. So there was a lot of solutions to continue to travel and to make mobilities.
Okay, guys. So we really hope you have enjoyed this episode. We have had so much fun preparing this, and we hope you can live these experiences at least once, even though sometimes they are not. It's not amazing as everybody will tell you because there are also like negative parts that you have to take into account. But it is worth it, right, guys?
Yeah, it's totally worth it. It's incredible.
Yeah. So we hope you had fun and please continue listening to our episodes because there are many people from different parts of the world working this and I think you can feel like represented. And
Yes,
yeah,
totally agree.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening to us, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. We believe you enjoyed the episode. So make sure you subscribe. Here's a taste of our next adventure.
Today, we're going to talk about integration in a new country and how to adapt to local realities.
You will see how they behave, how they will speak, how they will just be themselves. And that will maybe help you to just realize how you can talk to them, how you can interact with them.
These three different things will help you to find a new comfort zone in your new place.
We are glad that you're traveling with us.
Have a nice trip with Sound of Mobility.
Disclaimer. Views and opinions expressed are however those of the authors only and do not necessarily reflect those of the European Union or the European Education and Culture Executive Agency. Neither the European Union nor the European Education and Culture Executive Agency can be held responsible for them.